and welcome to the Wealthy LaLa show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Oh, today is episode 181-1. I'm so excited. In 2 weeks from now, I will be at Dr. Joe's advanced workshop. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm really truly beginning to live my dream and letting myself have it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I will be pre-recording all my shows for that time. And then when I get back, I will look forward to sharing all about it with you guys. One thing that's really fun that I'm doing right now is the team that I'm actually on. So they've decided, as in Dr. Joe's team, has decided what they're doing for the workshop is each group or each team is a crystal, the name of a crystal. And the crystal, that team that I'm on, I'm trying to just sort of organize things here, is called lapis lazuli. And let's see here. I had actually written it down here or got a thing. Where did I put it here? Oh, you don't have it on here? No, I don't. Let me just, what did I do with it? I put it on my phone. I know that I wanted to, okay, so lapis lazuli is a symbol of wisdom, love, and healing, and helps expand the mind by revealing the truth about the authentic self. Known as the wisdom keeper, lapis lazuli is an ideal stone for setting intentions that involve truth, awareness, and intuition. This deep blue color of this mineral, also called the stone of heaven, is associated with self-expression and awareness, which gives powers to boost enlightenment and spiritual transformation. And I just think that that's cool, that that's kind of the energy, kind of the target that I am going into that class with, or workshop. Oh, yeah. So excited, so grateful to be going. I know I might sound like a broken record, but I really, really, truly am. And so what's interesting about choosing this workshop too is that with sort of the intention and the target that I have with it, it's and with what I'm asking for just overall in life, what it's doing is it sort of creates that environment that the universe goes, oh, this is what you would like to have. So you'd like to have a great workshop, you'd like to, receive as much as possible from it. Well, then what happens is the universe contributes to you by assisting you in like setting you up in different situations that actually show you where your triggers are. And so it can feel like, God, why does it feel like things in a way are going to shit before I'm going to this class? Like I'm just trying to get ready for it, and this is coming up, and this is coming up, and this is coming up, and I'm so grateful now that I know that that's what ends up happening. So anytime you start to ask for more in your life, whatever's in the way of you actually receiving that is going to show up. And so it can seem like things are going to poo, but they're actually not. It's actually just showing you where you're actually functioning from in a certain area that actually doesn't work for you because you've actually asked for something greater. So, I've had a few situations lately that have been really, really, really uncomfortable. And with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, what I've discovered is that it is a different way of looking at things. It's like learning a new language, and learning a new language in the way that, when we get used to something, so say we get used to eating a certain way, we're aware that maybe doing a different eating plan, or we're aware that even just moving our bodies more would be something that would contribute to us. And maybe not even an eating plan, because I've found for myself in the past that I've tried vegan, I've tried vegetarian, I've tried keto, I've tried, what else have I done? Um, I've tried a bunch of different things. I've done the Arbonne, which is a company that you can purchase their products through. It's like a home party kind of thing, network marketing. And there's other ones like that. And I've tried them, and I find that my body will only want to do it for so long. And so I wonder, for myself, it's just maybe your body is just even asking you to have even just more awareness with what you're eating. Like, do you notice, like, are you really gluten intolerant, or does your body just not want to eat that much bread? And that's the same thing. Like, we don't say we're chocolate intolerant, we don't say we're potato chip intolerant. We just know that if we eat too many potato chips or too much chocolate or too much candy or too much pop or whatever, um, generally overall our bodies are not going to feel good and not work in the same optimum capacity, right? So I wonder if that's the same thing with gluten sometimes. There's definitely some people that have reactions to it, and that's not what I'm referring to here. So anyways, but what will happen is when we start to ask for something like that, or we start to choose something different, then all of a sudden we'll get these thoughts in our head like, oh, let's start tomorrow. Oh, but it's a birthday party today. Oh, it's, and we'll have those excuses. Well, and that's actually what I'm discovering with my meditations. I didn't realize this. Like, what's neat about doing these meditations from Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you actually listen to his information and then listen to it again and then listen to it again, as you do the experience of the meditation and or say moving your body and or eating differently, what ends up happening is you hear more clearer information as time goes on. And what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about is that when we start to choose something like this that is out of our usual comfort zone, so we could be eating horribly, we could never meditate, say, we start doing something like that, and our body is actually alerting us that change is happening, and it's alerting us, warning us that change, and this could be an alarm. So it's like it alarms our system. It's like alert, 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 there's change coming up. This is not good. This is not good. And then you end up being pulled back to your old way of being. And then I don't know about you, if you guys have done that before or had that happen to you, like how many times? And then what happens is you get so discouraged because you kind of maybe knew that this eating way of eating or meditating or moving your body was going to be something that would create greater for you, and you really end up starting to struggle with it, and then you end up giving up. Whereas if you know that this is what is going to happen, is that you're going to get these alerts, you're going to get this warning, warning, warning. Like, our body doesn't know the difference between a good change and a bad change. It just sees change. It just sees that this is something different. And so it's like, hey, 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 just letting you know, hey, just letting you know that this isn't cool, and it will alarm you to pull yourself back to safety. Well, if you know that that's what your body's doing, then you can just be like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. Like working with yourself, working with what's going to create greater for you. So I've been noticing, and even when I did my meditation this morning, as I'm laying there, I'm in one of the energy centers, and I'm bringing energy to it, and I'm putting my focus on it. And energy centers, and a lot of people know them as chakras. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls them energy centers. As I'm focusing on one of the energy centers in my body and then expanding out to all of space, holding the intention on the center and expanding out to all of space around my body, all of a sudden I'll start thinking, oh, I've got to cook this thing. Or it'll be like, oh, I've got to talk to a person about this. Or it'll be, I need to get this done. Or, oh, that thing that person said to me really bothered me. And so these thoughts start to pop into my head. And what Dr. Joe says is these are actually ways that your body is trying to knock you out of the focus of creating something different with your body. So knowing that that's actually what our, bodies and minds are doing when you go to start moving your body, Oh, I don't feel like going to yoga class tonight. Oh, I don't really think I want to go for that walk. Oh, it's kind of a bit too cold out there. And without actually asking a question, and this is again like, God, I just love this question thing. Because yesterday we were at a family function and we were talking. Actually, no, we met with this couple for like a brunch, and as we're chatting, we're talking about the person, this other lady had asked me about exercise. Like, what's your thought on exercise? Because she also too has had, dis-ease in her body as I've had. And she was like, what's your thoughts on exercise? And I said, well, I really think that there's a level of awareness that you have to have. And so the four of us that were together ended up having this conversation about, if you know to ask a question, there are some days where you're going to go, okay, so truth, does it actually create greater for me to go for this jog, do this dance class, do the yoga class, whatever? And it's going to be, yeah, you got to push yourself past that. I don't feel like it. It's not a great day. It's not very warm out, right? Those thoughts I told you about. Or it's one of those times where it's like, oh, no, no, it's actually heavy to choose that today. I don't get that it's going to create greater. Go lay on the couch, watch Netflix, have a nap, like love yourself up in that way. So loving yourself up can be dancing, loving yourself up can be, going for a jog, and loving yourself up could be, going for a massage or going for, um, acupuncture if you like that, which I do, or, any kind of thing. So, yeah. So, isn't that just kind of fascinating? Like, this is what I love about the asking questions is our questions are things about life. Our lives are actually very sort of fluid. Like, it's not linear, and it's not just one way fits all. Like, I'm going to, move my body. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to jog 5 times this week. Well, what if life also throws into you a very stressful week, and then you end up going for those jogs and you end up getting sick? And that's what's really interesting, is that I got the awareness of how my body was actually talking to me. And I probably have said this on a previous show, but for 3 years before I actually got like where I had a lot more symptoms in my body and then got diagnosed with something, um, I felt flu-liked when I would go to exercise. So I'd exercise and then I'd feel flu-liked after. Well, knowing what I know now about myself and about my life then, and my state of being, my state of mind, okay? Um, it was pretty incredible to see how um, I was handling life and the things that were going on around me, but I wasn't handling myself. I wasn't handling me. I didn't know me well enough then to have a good, strong foundation to then handle all of what was going on in life. And my body was just telling me what I didn't know at the time was just, babe, we got to change something here. This just is not working for us anymore. And then, of course, when you don't listen, it then it will often can turn into something like dis-ease, like it did in my world. So, yeah. So on that, I mean, really, like how awesome. Like, how awesome is that? So, so if look in your life at those times when you're probably likely judging yourself for having, you know, started a diet or started an exercise program or started something, and you judge yourself like crazy for having not handled it perfectly, or you got yourself, it just lasted for a day or two. Like, go back to that situation and look at it and ask some questions and go, hey, was I actually aware that my body was done with that particular eating plan, that my body was done with maybe jogging? Like, did I decide that I needed to jog 5 days a week and my body wanted to jog, dance, swim, walk? Like, we get these conclusions, we get stuck in our ways. And with the way media is and stuff like that, like, you can really get um, entrained to a way of thinking that when you don't know to ask questions, you just think that that's just the way it is. Like we've gotten knocked out of being asking questions when we were younger, and also with our school system. So anyways, yeah, just kind of all of that. So if you can go back to those situations in your life and look, like, truth, was my body done with whatever I was choosing? Did it want something different? Um, yeah. Like if someone told me, okay, you're going to have to eat Chinese food for the next 3 months and that every day, that's what you're going to have to eat. Um, and you're going to lose weight on it. Like I would get bored after a while. I'd have to have some variety. And so I just wonder if, like, depending on the type of person you are, like some people would really like that, like the familiarity of the same kind of thing. I know for me, it would make me crazy. So, but I know that about myself now. So this is again like asking questions about what is actually true for you and what actually works for you and your body. And I know when I first started to learn this question thing, I know that I'm going a little bit over today, but when I first started to learn this question thing, the one thing that I got actually seriously annoyed with was having to ask questions and that it was maybe going to change every day. I was like, come on, like, can't this be consistent? But as I started to play with it more, I started to see that I actually really like the fact that it's not the same every day. And so I let myself enjoy that whole thing. So, anyways, on that note, you guys, I really seriously hope you have a wonderful day. And for those of you that are living in Canada or in Alberta, for sure, happy, what day? What is it called? Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Hopefully, you are enjoying your day off and happy laboring. Okay, you guys take care. Have a wonderful